it's making its coin by tempting me to spend money I don't need to spend on something that won't actually do what it promises to do. A large majority of my workouts involve me lifting weights or riding my bicycle at my own pace for the amount of time and intensity that my body tells me I'm ready for. I tend to push fairly hard as a matter of course, and so I'm not necessarily looking for something that is going to make me spend a particular amount of time or invest a particular amount of effort, because I'm usually pushing fairly hard regardless. But for stretching, I like having a timed system where I'm doing at least 45 seconds of a particular stretch, and then maybe 15 seconds between activities to reposition, change, from I'm stretching this leg to stretching that leg, whatever it is. And so I have one of these electronic timers, fairly cheap. You can buy them off Amazon or wherever. And it knows that I want to have 45 minutes to an hour of 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off. The thing is, I don't always remember to bring this with me. I don't always have it ahead of time. And so I have a backup for this same function, which is an app on my iPhone. Now, this is a free app, but I'm sure that most of us are aware that almost nothing is actually free these days. It's an app that is going to push me a certain number of ads, and most of the time I just let them sit there at the bottom of the screen and ignore them. But today I noticed what one of them was, and I clicked the link and followed it, and it was an ad for an electronic muscle stimulation device. And basically, the point of the ad was, you don't have to spend any more time on workouts, you don't have to be bored, you don't have to put in a lot of intensity. Just strap this thing to your core muscles and it's going to stimulate all of your muscles and everything's going to be done for you. You'll get rock hard abs if you keep using this thing. Stuff like this has been around for at least a century. You can find old late Victorian or Edwardian era gadgets that promise pretty much the same thing. There's nothing new under the sun. And electrical stimulation has valid uses. I've had PTs, physical therapists, strap one of these devices onto me to give the muscles some stimulation when I was recovering from an injury as part of the healing process. Some of that is valid. In terms of it being a replacement for exercise, the way this ad is telling you it will be, nah. There are no known or approved methods for that. There's no scientific evidence that they will give you that kind of result long term. You can use them in concert with exercise, but that doesn't mean that you're avoiding boring workouts. And what this reminded me is the tremendous difficulty for the ordinary consumer who doesn't have time to go off to Google and search, hey, are any of these devices FDA approved? Is there any medical research that establishes that you can actually forego all other resistance training just by using one of these devices? Most of us don't have that kind of time. So here's an app that is being vended to me. I went looking for it for a perfectly appropriate reason, for my own well-being, for my own goals as a fitness person. But what it's doing is it's making its coin by tempting me to spend money I don't need to spend on something that won't actually do what it promises to do. It's no wonder so many people out there are confused about what it really takes to get fit and stay fit, what it really takes to lose a few pounds of fat and keep them off, what it really takes to gain a few pounds of muscle and keep them on. There is so much misinformation out there, and so much of it is quite obviously predatory. And I don't have any point in saying that other than that as a fitness professional, if you're frustrated with our entire industry, boy, do I hear you, because I am too.